Hello, I'm Joanne Bester and welcome back to another episode in our Regen series. Today we'll continue our discussion with David McEwen about how we can implement this practically on our farms. What would your advice be for somebody who wants to get into the system?
I think to start off with is to do your homework and you know, there's so much out there, so much free stuff on YouTube, on regenerative farming. There are guys doing wonderful things all over the world, and it's at your fingertips, you know. I follow a guy by the name of Jaime Elizondo. He runs a course on real wealth ranching, regenerative farming. But there are other guys out there as well, also running courses. And these days you can do an online course. You know, it costs a bit of money, but it's probably the best money invested into your business.
Okay, so behind us the animals have recently moved out here. How long will this area get to rest before you'll come back to it?
At this stage I'm working on about a 400-day rotation. So they're not coming back. The area is getting a full growing season to regrow and recover before the animals come back into the same area.
David, so we discussed how important adequate water supply is, and if we're going to go lay out permanent water troughs, that becomes quite an expensive exercise. So to limit some costs, I see you've got a mobile trough system here. How does that work?
Well, it's very simple at this stage. I've just got as you can see, a plastic trough which we move around to where the animals are grazing. I've got pipelines laid to all the different camps. And then we start with a specific area which we lay the trough. The trough also gets moved. It doesn't get put in the same place every time we come because there's quite a bit of tramping and that happens around the trough. And then from there we move our temporary fences further and further away from the trough. So the animals will still come back and drink water.
Okay.
The most important thing is your flow into the trough, not necessarily the size. As you can see, the animals are moving away here now. They come in drips and drabs and drink because they know there is sufficient water for them.
Okay, David, is there a certain distance that we should bear in mind where we say it starts getting too far if our fence is too far away from the water that can cause problems?
Man, I think ideally you'd want it about 600 meters. But at this stage, because of the infrastructure cost, I've got some camps where the animals need to walk up to 1 kilometer, which is not ideal, but in the meantime, it's working. As I said, you just need decent flow into the trough. So when a whole lot of animals arrive to drink, that there is enough water for them. And
then as you can improve, you will start making those distances a bit closer together?
Yes, ideally, as I said, about 600 meters. Animals, we will walk, cows walk a lot, you know, looking for food, so walking is not an issue for them. And you want animals that are adapted to the system and that can walk. You need them to be able to walk to find food and get back to water.
David, we know we're trying to utilize the resources that we have available to us in the best possible manner, so we try to avoid feeding unnecessarily, but supplements really do go a long way in helping them utilize this dry grass. Could you explain and elaborate?
Yes, I think when it comes to sheep or cattle especially, for their rumen to function properly, they need an intake of about 10 to 12% protein. This dry grass at the moment, we're probably looking at a protein percentage of about 5 to 6. So you need to supplement protein for them to be able to utilize the dry grass, get those microbes functioning properly, and to get the rumen working properly. So it's vitally important to use some sort of a lick to be able to get that protein into the animal.
And so the lick would also help your animal production. As we are aware, a farming enterprise is a business and therefore it needs to be profitable. How does this holistic management system help with that?
Well, I think the biggest advantage is to be able to run more animals. You've got to be profitable at the end of the day, otherwise the whole system doesn't make sense. And at the moment I'm carrying about double the normal carrying capacity, so therefore the financial benefits are potentially much bigger than a conventional farming setup.
Right, David, so when we're using electric fencing, it's probably essential that we get the right sizes, the right inverters, the right equipment so that we don't struggle further down the line.
Yes, yeah. Joanne, this is just a temporary a mobile unit which I move around to wherever the animals are. This one specifically just here close to where this sort of self-sent and watering point is. As you can see behind us here, there's a 3-strand electric fence, and then I run my temporary fences from there. I've got a 6-joule energizer to power the system, which isn't that big, but it's big enough to make sure that the animals respect the fence.
David, you've got some brush packing have happened here. That is all to help with the ecological processes. Could you explain to us why you've done it and what the effect has been since you've done that?
Well, Jan, if you look behind us here, this used to be one big open bare patch with absolutely nothing growing. So what we did was just started packing a lot of, as you say, brush. It basically just cools down the soil temperature, allows some grasses to grow. And if you look around us here, there's some tumbleweed, some real pioneer species coming in to cover the soil, and then from there, the more permanent grasses will start coming through.